a half in December into January.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome to SEO UnMasked, episode number Big 50, I believe. It's November 1st. We're happy to have you with us. I'm Garrett Groff.
I'm Vicoletta.
I'm Steve Brownlee.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. As always, we failed to do a live recording at the conference. But yeah, PubCon was good.
Yeah. Met a good number of new friends over there.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, that's always some of the presentations were a little bit hokey. Like even our junior team members that were there walked out of a couple, but the crowd that's there is really good. Like loads of legit companies represented and stuff. So if you're looking to network, I think PubCon's a really cool one. We're going to be at PubCon Florida. Well, yeah, it is Florida, isn't it? Yeah, it's Fort Lauderdale, isn't it? Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely solidified the fact that I shouldn't buy anything but networking passes at these conferences going forward.
Oh, oops, sorry.
As long as
we only paid like an extra $80 compared with the networking pass, so we didn't really get screwed too hard.
For that one, I mean, at SMX, it's the normal, I guess, lecture pass would have you is like $1,200, and the networking pass is, a couple $100. So there's a big difference there. But I guess PubCon just wanted to fill seats, so the ticket price was a little cheaper.
Yeah, I always intend to go to SMX Advanced, but there's clashes with Search Leads, which is like an all-day drinking session with loads of people that want to order links. So it's kind of difficult to justify SMX Advanced, but I think Vin was going to go to one and tell us what it was like or something.
It would happen the same 2 days that I had to be at a client's grand opening for the new building. So I didn't get to go out for the networking meetings last week.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll make it out. But yeah, next one is definitely Miami, and that should be a fun time.
Just in time for spring.
Yep.
Spring break, baby.
Well, it's always good weather down there in Miami. So.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll get some. We'll get. All I know about Miami is like watching Burn Notice. So I expect us to be drinking mojitos and having high speed.
That is a low caliber show that you watch.
I watched 8 episodes of that on a flight across the Atlantic.
Oh man. You know what I watched?
It was the only thing I hadn't seen. I thought it was pretty good, but then I had drunk a very large amount of gin and tonics, so I will reserve judgment to if I ever watch an episode sober. But I thought it was pretty good after a few gin and tonics.
You know what show both of you will love, if you haven't seen it already? Brockmeyer on IFC. He's an alcoholic announcer for a minor league baseball team, and it just follows his descent into depravity. And debauchery. It's really good.
All right, I'll
have to check that out. Yeah, that sounds good.
Anyway, what do we got going on?
Oh, not much. I guess I was telling Steve and a buddy of ours today. So many people are complaining in the Facebook SEO groups about getting hammered in the health vertical.
Yeah.
And every time I look at someone's site, it's just like quality filter. Well, I don't get why I'm being penalized. It's like your site is 100% half-ass spammy affiliate shit, and your content is really, really bad. And in the health industry, I think it's good that they're filtering out a lot of that garbage. But I don't know. Our buddy made a good point. It's like some things change and some things don't, but seems like they're doing a lot better job at filtering out the really shitty sites, and obviously that makes it harder for people that are starting out or don't want to put in the work. But I mean, our skincare site usually averages a 15 to 20% growth burst every month, and this month it was 69%. So it's like,
I feel like this update's been good for us.
Yeah.
So if Google could just keep tuning up the band and moving everyone else down, that would be great.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's still a few. Well, I mean, the goal is really, get it to, keep it at 20% for another solid year, and then it'll be a really nice money earner for us. Seems to be going well.
Yeah.
We've actually built some links to it though, which is obviously helping the growth.
Right.
We were kind of building like 3 links a month at one point because we were kind of busy, but we've scaled up the team and things are going a little bit better on actually having some capacity to build us some links for ourselves now. We could do it like 8 times as many, but
I hear
paying customers come first. So.
Yeah.
With the medic update, I actually have a tweet up on my screen right now from Cyrus Shepard, and it just says reminder: 60+ days since Google's medic update, and we haven't seen any conclusive evidence from any SEO on how impacted sites can recover traffic and rankings. And
I don't know, man. Like, I think it is conclusive. It's quality, and it's just really.
Well, his example here is Drax.com or DrX.com, and that site is still tanking. So that's one of the bigger sites.
Yeah, I've seen that guy's site come up a few times, and I read some guy was trying to investigate the way big sites like that are funneling you into the way they make money. And there's a hypothesis about, misleading funnels where you come in on an educational page, but it's really easy to find yourself on a money page all of a sudden.
I mean, isn't that the whole concept of a funnel, though?
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole point of the internet? I mean,
Yeah.
Google does that to you. Like, you're on Google 1 minute, and the next thing you're booking a flight on American Airlines, and you're like, what the fuck? Google just made some money out of me, you bastards.
Yeah. But I'm just clicking around these articles on Dr. X, and a lot of it is just like 2 paragraphs of content and a video.
Yeah.
So
I mean, some sites are just keeping getting pounded. Like Livestrong, it just keeps going down. Like it got hit originally, and then it's just constant decline now. Like it's halved. It's under half its traffic now from January.
I'm looking at one page here, and just 1 second. Yeah, like wow, they're getting hit hard. So they're a page on the stigmatism. It looks like it's got about 2,000, 3,000 words. It's got multiple custom infographics, and it has 11 referring domains to the page, and it tanked traffic too, and it's not coming back. It's still dropping even more. I don't know.
I think Google likes doing updates in the holidays, though. Like, it ruins every holiday. Like, when's your next holiday? Thanksgiving? There's going to be a Thanksgiving update, guys. Get ready for it. It'll roll out the day before, though, just so that you get to, if you've got agency clients, you get to cry into your milk on Thanksgiving. Because there's nothing you can do about it. Everyone's on holiday. But you're going to see
I'm glad we don't have clients now dealing with all this shit all the time. Jesus.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah, 87 calls on Thanksgiving morning would not be fun.
But what was Google's official response to this update? That SEOs are doing nothing wrong. It's just that they have to make better content. that was the answer.
I don't even think they went that far. They just said, I think Mueller said something like, it doesn't necessarily mean you're doing anything wrong. We just have to update, or it's like something really vague.
Yeah.
Well, it's affected some people really badly and other people not at all. So it's different.
It's entirely possible that our skincare site was not affected at all, and finally some links took traction. Like we didn't actually get a boost from the update. It was just links.
Yeah, it just hit the tipping point and you start moving up. Yeah. It seems to mainly be bigger sites that were hit.
I guess I will say, the skincare site, while it finally cracked over 6,000 hits a month, still a small site by all means, but it's not a site that's really monetized at all. All the content's just straight up good and informative content, so it's also very unlikely that would ever be penalized anyways.
It's so funny how easy it is to get traffic in certain niches and hard to get traffic in other niches. In my site, we just cracked 2,000 visitors for the month, and that's after 11 months in operation. But at the same point, we're seeing like about 15 to 25% increase in traffic month over month. So I can't complain. But in something
it'll ramp up fast.
Are you seeing much traffic leaking over from Pinterest? Because I checked out your Pinterest page today, and it looks like you guys are getting some big numbers now. But
we actually, I would have to ask Mike. Mike is the Pinterest guy, but we actually saw a slight decrease month over month from September to October, about a 30% decrease in clicks to our page. But that's because we had fewer, I guess you would say, like awareness blog posts or like link bait blog posts come out this month, and those tend to perform better than our money posts on the site. So I would attribute it to that. We're going to keep on chipping away at it until we see that J curve, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah, I started recovering our Pinterest page, but it'll be a grind. But whatever, learn as I go.
Well, it's definitely something you gotta do every day.
Yeah,
even on the weekends too. But what sucks about Pinterest is that they changed their algorithm significantly, pretty often. So a strategy that the entire user base was using could be obsolete just overnight without any warning, and then you kind of have to figure out how to adapt quickly. Otherwise, you get wiped out.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, did you guys see any of this Halloween ranking update or?
No, I haven't seen anyone affected.
Yeah, the short tails on my site have been pretty volatile, and that's pretty much because I don't have the authority to rank for them. But the keywords that are kind of in our wheelhouse are just in the normal up or down 2 spots every day. Not too many changes at all.
Yeah, I haven't really seen the kind of, normally when you see one of these, you do see some volatility across. Like we look at a handful of sites, like about 50 or 60 that we always look at because they're big sites that we know people that work there and stuff like that, just out of interest. We don't track all our clients yet, but from January we're going to have SERP stat data on all of our clients, so we can see what the average growth rate is for different link packages and stuff like that, just so that we can give people a better, because we do get asked like how many links should I build, and my solution is to send them to my article explaining how to work it out yourself. But
right.
If you can just say, well, on average in the health niche for this type of site, you need X, and you'll get this percentage growth on average, that would be kind of cool. So,
yeah, I'm glad you guys are using SERPstat a lot, huh?
Yeah, I really like SERPstat. We didn't like it at all at first, but like the API and all that kind of stuff they give you on that, I'm amazed they give you the API access on the AppSumo deal. That was pretty cool.
Are they still doing the thing that they're determining their scores like by an amalgamation of other metrics? Like they were.
I don't really look at their like trust rank or whatever it is they call it.
But what do you like the best for SERPstat?
I think their traffic estimate is one of the best out of all the tools.
It's by far and away the most accurate.
Cool. I've been using Keyword Keg for keyword research, just kind of to verify traffic information I'm pulling from Ahrefs. But I always forget that I have that SERPstat subscription. Gotta start using that more.
Yeah, definitely. It's super fast as well. Like it just pulls stuff up pretty quick, which is nice. I still like Ahrefs, but
yeah, I think that that SERPstat does a good job with their education section too. They're always putting out some pretty quality articles. obviously using their tool to illustrate the points, but I think the information itself is pretty on the cutting edge of what's going on in SEO.
Where are all the SERP stat links on the show notes from you then, Vin?
Yeah, I got it. I just opened up my my RSS reader for the first time since PubCon, and it was 500 unread blog posts.
So you knock those out in an afternoon, and
yeah, no, I have them actually. I have them opened up in another window here. The ones I gotta go through. It looks like Brian Dean released Skyscraper Technique 2.0 today.
Well, that'll revolutionize things again, you know.
Yeah.
What does he suggest this time? Like before, it was like take someone's list of 100 and do a list of 150. What is it now? Like you take your previous list of 150 and you make it a list of 19,637.
I didn't get to read it. I just pulled it up. Another one that's on my reading list is from Siege Media. Who is the guy that runs that Siege Media?
I forget.
He's a good SEO, but this one is how to determine how valuable links are in your market. So maybe that'll be something we could talk about next week.
Speaking of the Medic update, I kind of forgot a big thing. It's going to be my don't tweet this.
Okay. Cool. You got to watch till the very, very end.
Yeah.
Anyways, first on the list, speaking of the Halloween update or whatever the fuck that is.
I thought that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, Barry was talking about it at the round table. Pretty generic update from him as usual, but reading through the comments, it's like no one. It's I don't know. It's just like the same. People got hit. No one knows why. Eat, quality, filters. All bullshit, says Boo. Do you seriously think Google wants your site to flourish in the SERPs? How does this increase their revenue? Well, I think your logic's a little flawed, because if it's all about money to them, why would they even bother regulating the SERPs at all? So, I mean, they want someone's site to rank.
Well, they regulate the SERPs to keep their user base around.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I think that this update, Barry's not giving a lot of information here. I think this is probably in the title. He says possible targeted update yesterday, but it doesn't even mention what got targeted. So I think that was probably a slight algo change for maybe a certain vertical, but I don't think it was anything to write home about.
Black Hat Twitter doesn't enjoy this update.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a specific Black Hat targeting update because it's Halloween. Just a little bit of fun from Google on the holiday.
Let's be honest, it's not even Black Hat anymore. It's like people that don't
Dumb Hat.
Doing. Yeah.
Dumb.
I gotta start doing that. We need to get some like show T-shirts done. Like I'm a Dumb Hat SEO T-shirt and stuff, and we can sell instead of like just having the 24 hours of SEO logo, we can have some ridiculous T-shirts like that for sale. I think this year. So I'm gonna write that one down, and we'll get your boy to design it, Finn. And
I gotta hit him up. I got like a backlog of graphic design shit I gotta do. All right, what do we got? All right, so go ahead.
I was just saying, Danny Sullivan came out and asked how Google can better organize the SERPs. You know, you want more control over titles, site links. I don't know. I'm kind of surprised they would ask. I'm sure they already know what they want to do.
Yeah, I kind of saw this as a bit of a honeypot.
Yeah.
Ask us what is going to make your life easier as an SEO, so we can make sure we don't give that to you. Right. That's exactly what I think of this. But there's some interesting answers.
This untrustworthy traitor.
Yeah. But speaking of featured snippets, you remember when I showed you the screenshot of the double snippet, and you said you didn't see it? It's getting rolled out. A few other people are seeing it now, so they must be testing. I guess engagement or however they test their rich snippets. But
I think they should just replace the whole SERPs with snippets. I think it should just be nothing else. This should just be like at least 87.
I'm sure if they could do like a forever scroll, like card view layout, they would. Where
they should be like now. They should be full of inaccurate answers and wrong information, and they should just go on forever. Like,
yeah. Hey man,
how long is a mile should include answers from exactly 1 kilometer to as far as the moon. It should have the whole range of incorrect answers so that you can really get
as long as their bottom line is continues to increase. I think they're going to continue going down this route.
You should be allowed to advertise in them as well, though, without it showing an ad. So, like, for political campaign ads, you could have, what age is Donald Trump, and the Democrats could run one that says dead. That would be definitely the direction they should go in, is unlabeled ads within the snippets. I think we should see that pretty soon. Or like with a really, really pale, they should test a blue that you can't see. It discloses the ad. That bright yellow ad is too clear. They should make it a bit more invisible, I think.
Trying to fix the back of my... There we go. Oh, so yeah, that's a little cryptic. I don't understand. I've never seen him ask a question of SEOs before, so I'm a little suspicious about what the intention was.
Well, Matt Cutts used to always ask what he thought his next 30-day challenge should be.
30-day challenge on like what company he was going to ruin forever?
Well, no, he does every month. He does like some kind of 30-day challenge, like only eat fish for a month, or like walk 900 miles a day, or these kind of stupid. Well, not stupid, I guess, but weird things.
Yeah,
I think he said he was going to do an annual one this year. I think he should come back. It was pretty fun when he was around.
I enjoyed Matt Cutts, but I also that's kind of looking in the rearview mirror a bit, because there are many times where I got infuriated by his attitude towards SEOs and the changes he was responsible for.
Well, people used to swear at him and stuff on Twitter from the SEO industry, and like heckle him at conferences and stuff. I feel like his attitude was probably built up by the community.
Yeah.
I'm sure John Mueller doesn't feel too excited about the SEO community's fair and balanced approach to talking to him either.
Speaking of Google products, Blumenthal's post here. Who's this? Garrett?
Yeah, I found that one this afternoon. He kind of went on a little mini rant. Yeah, I understand how he feels, because I get this way a lot of times as well. Especially I see in the Facebook groups now, there are companies offering automated Google My Business posts and really ridiculous stuff that's supposed to revolutionize your local presence. And now I guess you have the option to go into Google Maps after you find a business and like the little business knowledge graph on the right or whatever. And you can follow them and you can be notified whenever they put up a new post. But let's be honest, who the fuck's going to do that?
Yeah. It kind of seems, the first thing I thought was Google is trying to integrate social media features into their core search and map products. So they don't actually have to have a social network. They can just add the most popular features into the actual search algorithm or search product and gain traction that way. But it just seems like another one of Google's crazy ideas that they just like roll out with no real,
They don't seem to understand social at all. They just, Google Plus could have been a huge win, because technically it was put together better than Facebook. It was cleaner. It offered better control for what you wanted to look at a time, or what types of connections you had to people. It had the benefit of Twitter, that you could have immediate conversations and message anyone. And they somehow made a complete mess of that. So when you think that they had the best products and they couldn't even get, despite their best efforts, any traction at all. Except when they pretended they had loads of new members when they forced everyone on YouTube to use it. They got some good numbers that week.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think they have any idea what they're doing with it. Because they used to surface like when businesses posted on Google Plus before they renamed it to Google Local, the Google Business, Google My Business, and all that stuff. And businesses used to post on there; it would show up in the SERPs. Because I had a friend who started his own painting and decorating thing, and I don't think he thought like it was going to get him new customers. He was just posting before and after shots on his Google Plus so people could see them, and like people were searching locally for those types of projects, like fence painting or something, and then his pictures were coming up and his post.
Yeah.
And that seems to have gone away, and that seems like it would have been genuinely useful compared with whatever this nonsense is on the map that Garrett's talking about now. So what was the previous one about, Garrett, about the address being removed or something?
Oh, Barry had an article where I guess Google My Business is stopping to do the service area, and you just have to pick a zip code that you service. And if you're still stuck in, you haven't updated, if you still have your service radius set, they take away your address for some reason until you change it to a zip code.
Okay.
Which, I don't know, what if you're a big company and you serve like an entire state? Are you going to enter every fucking zip code in the state? Are you allowed to? I don't know. I haven't looked.
Has there been any kind of case study or anything that has analyzed the benefits of taking the time to optimize for Google Maps? Like, are there any is there any ROI actually coming through by showing up higher on a map listing?
Yeah, because it's the map pack, isn't it? So you're above the organic results. So it's where most of the local clicks go.
Yeah.
And like if you're looking for something like a restaurant or a hotel, the blue links are useless to you because you want to see how far away it is from where you're going. So if you're using Google, which I don't know, I guess there's got to be a good percentage to use Google to find a hotel near, like hotels near conference center, and you're going to want to go straight to the map to see the distances.
Yeah. Well, in my experience, my limited experience with local SEO clients, it's just been content and links. If I have a good amount of quality links and citations to the site, I show up in the top 3 for the map pack.
Local competition's super easy. I don't know why people spend so much time talking about local SEO. There's actually conferences about it. It's like national, but you need shitloads less links, and you still get in the map.
Yeah.
And if you can get some reviews and shit like that, then even better, because people actually click you then.
Yeah. The only question around local that I would ever have is how to scale it, and if whether or not you should be a vertical specific agency or you should take on any clients.
From a sales perspective, you're better off being niche specific.
Yeah.
Like what's that? Whisker Cloud, the chap who used to run. Is it Greenbaum? I think his name is Alan. I don't know. I've lost his name today. But Whisker Cloud anyway. They used to be an SEO agency. It seems to be going a lot better, just focusing on vets. And he's expanded beyond just the. He's got recurring revenue from hosting because it's cloud, so you can charge $400 a month for hosting and stuff like that. So because cloud,
Yeah.
So it seems like if you go super niche, you can sell. Well, and you can tailor. I'm sure the platform is more tailored to what vets need than just a generic account with WP Engine or something and a WordPress install. I mean, whether it's worth that much more or not is obviously down to them to decide. But by offering something that's more specific, you can at least try and charge that and successfully do so. So I think niching down is definitely the way to go if you're a local agency. Unless you really don't want to. If you're like a real face-to-face salesperson and you suck at selling by email, reports, and on the phone, then you're going to want to just take on everyone because you're just going to go to Chamber of Commerce, to Roundtable, all the networking events in your area, and just pick up everyone you can.
Yeah.
I know someone who's doing really well with that in the social media space. Much like your automated Google Plus listings and Google Local listings, I'm suspicious of social media managers' work and what it actually achieves if they're scheduled postings across. But anyway, I'm sure it's great.
Baby, red roll.
Red roll.
Red roll. One good example of a niche specific SEO agency would be PlumberSEO.com. These guys are all over the place. I see their ads all the time, and they're actually on the Inc. 5000 list. As a local SEO agency, they did 3.3 million in 2017. That's not too shabby, right?
How much do you have to make to get on the 5,000 list?
I think it costs about $50,000. I mean,
yeah. It's kind of weird. It's like you have to have done above 2 million over the past like 3 fiscal years, but there's like a cutoff rate.
2 million cumulative or 2 million average?
I don't know. I remember reading the application requirements, and it was like really convoluted, and they don't really vet the numbers that you report either. So I think getting listed on that list is more of a marketing for the business that's listed rather than an accomplishment. Because it's
let's not kid ourselves. We're all going to list ourselves.
Yeah. Well, I think at this point both of us could be out there.
Get that logo on the website, man. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I reckon 2020. Wait till 2020 and get the Inc. 500. The 5,000's not so impressive. When we can get the Inc. 500, we'll be ponying up that fee and getting ourselves on there. Because then we can do training courses. How we went from nowhere to the Inc. 500 in just 5 easy years. You too can grow your.
Jeez. Just get your checkbook out and write a check for $50,000 to Forbes, and there you go.
Yeah. Anyway, how Google's knowledge graph updates itself.
Yeah.
And these posts he puts out are awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like this is the only guy in the world that actually understands the algorithm. And just by tearing apart the patents, he makes very good deductions from that information.
Yeah, SEO by the sea is sick.
Yeah.
I guess the takeaway, I think a lot of people are going to be confused about what I'm going to say, but I'm going to be quoting his article. He says, where should I start? This is part of the evolution of SEO that is taking place today. Learning how search is changing from being based upon search to being based upon knowledge. And I bet a lot of people are going to say, well, for Google to be a good search engine, they have to be knowledgeable to link up queries with results. But that's not what he's saying at all. It's not going to be necessarily linking you with what you're after. It's going to be what Google knows. And it's something that the change is going to take a lot of people some time, I think, to wrap, or not the change, but the new process or whatever you want to call it, to wrap their heads around.
When I read that, I tried to come up with an example myself, going from strings to things, right?
Yeah.
So in my mind, and tell me if I'm wrong, previously if I searched for famous Yankee baseball player, I would get a circle of articles that are optimized for the term famous Yankee baseball player. But now if I search for that, I'll get a knowledge graph card that has Derek Jeter on it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. It's going from a string, which is the phrase, to a thing or a person, Derek Jeter. And I think if you use examples like that, it's much more easy to understand. But I think the complicated part is understanding how the algorithm is getting that information. And that's where the idea of entities come in, and all the related information around entities, which he talks about here between like the entities themselves and the entities types, which a type could be a person, place, or thing. And once you wrap your head around that, you'll be able to build your content knowing what the algorithm is looking for. And that's kind of how you can game that.
I think the interesting thing is that Google's been doing this before they had the answer boxes and stuff. Like I remember at SEO conference. Yeah, and it was like the example they gave at the conference was you could search for some movie and it was like movie where the girl blah blah blah, and then it came up the number one blue link was the correct movie. So before they even gave these answers, they were already working on this stuff. It's just way more super obvious to us now that that's what they're trying to do because they're giving it us a formal answer in its own box, and Google's kind of endorsing it that we think this is the answer for who the famous Yankee. Well, who actually comes up? Is it Derek Jeter comes up when you type that in?
I would guess it gives a whole list.
Yeah, I was just guessing at an example there, but famous Yankee baseball.
It gives you a whole list: Derek Jeter, Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Yogi.
Derek Jeter's number 2 though, so it was a good guess.
I actually got Derek Jeter as number 1 and Babe Ruth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's a prime example. It's identifying a string with a person, and that's what you're getting. So it's a pretty easy concept to understand. But
you know what's interesting? Let's say you click Derek Jeter. Now you've moved into a different level where it's not smart enough yet, and it's still reading the string as Derek Jeter and returning strings about Derek Jeter. But I guess I don't know how you would.
Well, it gives you his bio card on the right.
Well, no, that's because Derek Jeter is because Derek Jeter is an entity itself.
So how do you subclassify that entity?
It's a entity. So the entity is Derek Jeter is an entity, and the entity type is a person. So it's giving you all the information about the entity type Derek Jeter. Whereas
I mean, it does a good job, I think, of giving you a mix of stuff about him. Like you've got his bio pack on the right, you've got relevant blue links, but then you've also got video. You've got news stories. I mean, like, if you were designing just a random page where you were going to have like a Derek Jeter page on your site, like having his bio, some news stories about him, some video, like that's the kind of stuff you'd stick on the page. So I think.
Well, you know, we're just talking about general semantic search right now, but this article specifically is how the knowledge graph updates itself. Right. Previously, it would have to be updated manually. So, you know, if Derek Jeter was married and then he was divorced and he was unmarried, that information would have to be updated manually. But what's happening now is the algorithm is comparing the knowledge graph information against documents that also have that information. And if it finds a discrepancy, it's creating a question that goes to a question answering service. And then the question is answered by a human. And then that answer is what updates the knowledge graph. So that's pretty crazy.
Yep.
And if you were to find out what question and answering service is being used, and you're able to start fielding answers in your niche, you could take control over those.
Well, this happened to Google before with the knowledge graph. They were using some like open database of structured data that had like dates of births and all this kind of information on, and people were editing it to mess with search results. I forget the name of the database now because they stopped using it.
Yeah.
But there was some open database they used to use. So I guess they always open themselves to this kind of But then if someone goes and edits Wikipedia really funkily, that can end up in the knowledge graph. So there's loads of vulnerabilities like that, but it's no different to any other.
Right.
Humans would be just as vulnerable as Google. Like if Wikipedia is wrong and you have a quick look, you get the wrong information.
Yeah, but how else do you streamline updating knowledge graphs across their entire index? There's got to be some kind of human input at some point in the chain, right?
Well, the knowledge has to come from people because that's
right.
Otherwise, who's gonna talk about the Yankees players' marital situation? If it's not people, it's going to be in the news. It's going to be Wikipedia being updated. It's going to be them getting feedback from humans on their question and answer site. We're not at the point yet where the robot reporters are walking around the street investigating things and deciding which court records to put freedom. I mean, I think it sounds like Google's not far away from making their own freedom of information requests to fill in the knowledge graph. So
that'll be
it doesn't sound like they're too far away from some of that stuff. If they're already generating their own questions and stuff, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I think that the key point was that a human had to answer those questions. And back in the day when I was like 15, 16, I used to, and I was starting my make money online journey. There was these services that you could basically just field questions all day, and you get paid $1 for every question that you answered. So yeah. I'm imagining that they probably use something like that to get the information they need. But we'll see. It's pretty interesting nonetheless.
Yep. Next on the news, I don't know if this was supposed to be this morning. The article wasn't very clear. There was supposed to be a walkout for real change.
I think it was today, yeah.
Apparently some rather credible sexual harassment or sexual misconduct allegations against some former Google employees were swept under the rug for massive amounts of money, and they were recently brought to light.
Yeah, I was following this one on the Twitters. The main gist of why they're pissed off seems to be that a bunch of junior employees that had allegations against them were dismissed pretty quickly. Some senior employees who had pretty serious allegations against them were given like 900 million in share options and allowed to resign. Wow. So I think it was the discrepancy in how people were treated as upset people. I mean, don't get me wrong. I guess it's totally fair that the junior employees that were, found at their disciplinary hearing to have committed inappropriate behavior probably should be dismissed. But it's the totally different treatment that the rich people at the top were getting that seems to have wound people up. That's from the Twitters, so take it as it is. But seems to be a lot of anger about it.
Yeah. That happened today, that blackout or what have you?
It was today, as far as I could tell from Twitter, yeah.
Was there any negative fallout for Google, or it was like a drop in the bucket for them?
I mean, well, most of the commentary was people supporting the walkout, so whether that has any negative effect on Google and the public, I have no idea. I mean, it wasn't on the news over here. I don't know if it made the news over where you guys are.
I didn't see it on the news.
Yeah, this was the first I heard of it. So
yeah, mainstream news doesn't seem to have run with it. But these things tend. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see some weekend commentary on the New York Times and stuff like that. So I guess that'll be interesting to see if there's an editorial about it, because it's pretty topical.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe we'll return to it next week, seeing what the weekend papers had to say, because that's when the full page editorial waffles get written. So we'll see what comes out in the Sunday's papers.
For sure.
Yeah.
Did it affect their stock? Let's see if it affected their stock price. So a quick look. I bet it hasn't even had any impact on anything.
ABC, right?
Alphabet. I've got to look for, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in other news, the second annual Ladyboy Conference is going on in Chiang Mai.
It dipped a couple points, but it's
no one's panicking.
Yeah, about 0.5% today.
It's down a little bit again in after hours as well, but nothing. Anyway, go on, Garrett. Tell us about the upcoming conference.
Well, it's going on right now. I was going to go, but I ended up just selling my ticket.
To Chiang Mai?
Yeah. Ireland in September, and then Vegas 2 weeks ago. It was just too hard for me to be 20 hours away from home for another week. But I don't really know what's all going out there. I see a lot of weird Facebook stuff that you'd probably expect about breakout masterminds and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think that's one I'll ever go to be honest. So
I would go. Just it would be nice to hang out with Matt one of these days. I've chatted him up every once in a while, but usually after a conference, there's like a bunch of chatter online about new strategies or things that people learned. And usually after these Thailand conferences, there's none of that. It's just it's more about the party and the pictures from the party. So that should be kind of telling about what is learned, or what kind of secrets are being shared.
Yeah.
To put it politely, I think there's too few people that. Well, it's not that there's too few people that I like that are going. I think there's too many people that I'm not keen to spend time with that go. Because I know some cool people. I know some cool people that have gone, but they also go to other things where I don't have to go there.
I would like to make it to Thailand as a bucket list item.
Yeah, I'd like to go out once.
I feel like there's nicer places to go than Chiang Mai.
Yeah, for sure. But I actually have a review this week.
Okay.
It's just a quick one. It's just the plugin that I use to back up my WordPress sites. It's called Updraft Plus. Previously, I was using Backup Buddy, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with. It's a great plugin. But Updraft Plus is a free plugin, and every week it automatically updates my database and all of my WordPress files. It sends it directly to a file in my Dropbox, and it deletes the old files for me. So as a business owner, I'm always looking for set it and forget it tools that are effective, and this one has been pretty for me.
It's exporting the entire SQL database and everything?
Yep. So I have
How much does it cost?
It's free.
Oh, I was going to say, because
it's a freemium model. There's a premium upgrade that I'm actually not too sure what you get with the premium. But for my needs, all I need is the backup of the database and the site files, and I'm getting that for free. So I'm a happy guy.
Yeah. So I back up both of our web servers every week to AWS for free, and each in cPanel account is separate. So if I ever did lose anything, I just roll back cPanel. The whole thing gets rolled back. But I mean, for most people, no one really needs to do that.
Yeah.
I think your solution would obviously be way simpler to the average person.
Yeah, for me, it's just I've got so many websites at this point that I don't want to be. I don't have to worry about if the backups are up to date, if I need to change any settings or anything like that. I just want it to be done. And if I ever need it, I want to go there and have what I need to be there. So this is doing it for me.
I have an apology for the folks at home. I do not have a rant of the week this week. I read every single tweet that I read. I think he's heard about the feature. Yeah, he's heard about
cleaned
the
up his act.
He didn't send one deranged tweet all week. He even won an argument with someone who was being really, really dumb about SEO, and he. Good job, Rand. You actually had a pretty good week on Twitter. It was a good read, and there was nothing insane in there. So there's no round of the week this week.
I mean, we could just go look at his avatar at sparktoro.net again if you want.
Yeah. Let's check out sparktoro.net.
That never gets old.
Well, some of the viewers won't have seen it before. If you go to sparktoro.net, that's where he's staging the beta version of his new product.
Oh, they updated the homepage. Oh, they're adding to this, which is great.
Well, they gotta keep it fresh.
There's a video now.
Yeah. Oh, geez. It is with great joy to bring you this glorious message. That poor girl.
Oh, that's fantastic. The most important page is the SparkToro male feminist page, though, in the more section. It's an all-male feminist, non-existent influencer marketing tool company. And our founder and CEO and the whole SparkToro team are bigger feminists than any feminist in the world.
SparkToro equals 100% all-male feminist company.
I think that's actually true because it has 2 employees stroke founders, and they're probably both male feminists. So it is a 100% male feminist company.
Oh my God, they have a whole Medium.com profile for SparkToro.net.
Really, it's on Medium.
Yeah. I'll share it in our Skype here. Hang on.
Oh, here.
There you go.
I found it. Cool. Oh wow! It updates regularly. Like
SparkToro.net achieves miracle #1 ranking in YouTube search in 8 hours for one video. So that video that was on their homepage is a
So does SparkToro.net actually rank #1 for SparkToro on YouTube?
Oh, on YouTube, I don't know.
Let's have a look. SparkToro. No, not for me.
We should start building links for them.
Let's just do 10 free links a month to SparkToro.net. until it ranks #1 for SparkToro.
So the Medium page ranks 25, and I haven't found .net yet.
.net, I've got it number 19. It's on the second page.
Let me. Maybe I missed it.
It could be.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed it. It's 18 for me.
18 or 19.
It's time to set up a SERP reputation management report. Find all those SparkToro.net listings and get those pushed up a little bit, I think.
How about this? We'll only use Rand's advice to rank SparkToro.net. And we'll see how effective it is.
Well, it's never.
I'm gonna email everyone that links to SparkToro.com and say you're linking to the wrong site. Here's our new site. I'm not really gonna do that, people. But if you did it, I would recommend you don't.
Yeah. So anyway,
I won't.
Garrett, what's this? Don't tweet.
Okay, going back to in the beginning of the show, we were talking about the medic update and that kind of related shit. I've talked to a couple people that were penalized, and there was, and other people have been talking about it as well. I've seen there's a trend that if you have a website that might be in the EAT area or whatever you want to call it, and all of your posts are published by like Team or yoursite.com or administrator or like any of that shit. That's a really easy quality filter now. And I talked to a couple people that are going to run tests and actually do a little case study on it to see if they can get the rankings back. Someone claims they just made the change to a few different authors that weren't even real and re-indexed all their pages, got the rankings back. And I guess actually, I think we might have talked about this a couple months ago. I started actually putting our writers' name. I didn't really have a good reason not to. I just started putting the writers that write the articles for the health site. I put their names on it. They have bios, and they're real people. Just for a human credibility type thing, I think it makes sense. I also don't know how many people actually care when they're reading the article that it's by such and such writer or just Team or something.
Yeah. Would you, you know how WordPress has like the standard admin profile? Would you recommend changing that to a name, or would you recommend creating another profile that's personalized outside of the admin profile?
So what I did, let's say we had 30 posts on that site by the admin profile.
You just swap the name from admin to Garrett, and that's all.
No, I just left those posts alone actually, and I created some new accounts. I still do all the posting off the admin account, but I just have a plugin where you can select which author you want to use. And depending on who wrote the article, I just select their name, and easy as that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense that Google would look at that kind of stuff going forward, because if you look at their Google News guidelines, if you want to be in Google News, you have to have real authors, real author profiles, real address. If that's what's working for them there to keep, I mean, I wouldn't say they keep spam out of Google News, but they limit it a little bit. If it's working a little bit there, it wouldn't be surprised to see some spillover into other parts of the business, because
yeah, you know,
I'm sure they all talk.
I think it's a good idea, and I think it's something that can be easily abused. But how many people actually take the time to do it, or even set up fake authors? You know, maybe people will start doing it. I kind of think people are too lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll just have one fake author, like all these niche sites. It's like, hi, my name's Billy McGee, and I love, I don't know, to use an example someone used on Builder Society, I love crossbows, and I review every crossbow every week. You know, they'll just make up one profile and they'll have a picture on the blog, and you know, it's the standard game. So I think people aren't going to pretend. Like Garrett said, it's more hassle if you have to have a whole bunch of different real people and real authors and stuff. I mean, we're lucky because we do have a bunch of real authors that we can use their real names on there. So it's
so now I need to go through for the sites that we have in the UK. Like one of those sites has like a few hundred posts on it. They're all by admin or something, and should probably go through and make some stuff to make some changes. I'll say, see if that helps, because that site just will not move.
Yeah, but you know what you got to do once you make that change. You can't do any other SEO changes, otherwise you'll obfuscate your results
for 24 months as well. You got to really sit on that bad boy and make sure it's a clean test.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You can't test anything because the waiting period's 6 months. Like you can just make a change and infer probably it did something or not. Like you can't do single variable SEO tests on real live sites that you're making money from or trying to make money from, because you've got to do a single.
What did we say today? Like that one finance related site is like 150 or 200 links behind being competitive for search volume 50,000 plus keywords, and I mean, if I did an author change, we're hardly building any links to it, like 2 a month, and I saw a boost, I would definitely attribute that to an author change versus like the 2 links that are meaningless.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, it would be all for long tail stuff, but
we're gonna build like 20 links to it next month, though, right?
That's the plan.
We'd hope so.
I mean, that's like the site that actually makes money, and then we don't do anything with. Like the bare minimums.
Andrew from Raven Tools had posted something in the SEO Signals lab. He's kind of into the same kind of on-site optimization stuff as
I saw that this morning. Yeah,
and I pointed it. So what he did is he posted an article on August 1st, and it indexed at like number 50. And then on September 28th, he made some extra changes on site and pointed some internal links to the page, and he jumped from 50 to number 13 with with no links, no external backlinks, only on-site optimization and internal links. But I pointed out to him that we don't really know what the cause of that was, because he made several changes to the page within that first 60-day indexing window. So we don't know if it's just the original content or the result is because of those iterative changes he's made in the first 60 days. So like I was saying, like we can't really put a push pin in what exactly caused him to rank so well without any links. So it stinks, if you make a change, you really do have to wait like 2 or 3 months to determine if it was effective or not before doing something else.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for today. Do we have anything else?
No, I think we're good.
I don't know. I can't think of anything. You're going to be gone next week?
I am. Yeah, I've got a good friend's birthday, and he's having it in New York City. So we're going out to dinner. Unfortunately.
Cool.
But
Cool.
what's up with Mr. John? I haven't heard from him since PubCon. Maybe he can jump in.
Yeah, I'll talk to him tonight. We've been busy working on some stuff, and he has his own shit to do too. So.
Yeah. Wait, you mean everybody isn't always available to be on our YouTube show? They have a life outside of this?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do, Ben.
Cool. Alrighty, I guess that's it.
Okay, yeah, that's a wrap. Don't forget to do the red roll every day of your life. Don't blame me when you go bankrupt. Did not.
Well,
go
red always comes in.
Nah, not this time. Jesus.
No, this is a bad trip for red roll.
Unless you're Valentine and every time you lose, you just go to the ATM and take out more money so you can double down again.
And then he was up like a couple grand, and then he lost it.
but he seemed more happy after he lost it all than he did like actually playing the game.
Yeah, it's all about the ride. Ride the red roll.
Yeah, so if you're going to come hang out with Word Agents Reach Creator in Vegas, just be prepared to lose your salary.
Yeah, red roll. I think you'll be safe in Miami, though. I feel like we're not all going to make a trek to one of the casinos on the outskirts or whatever. I feel
those are shit casinos anyway, so we don't know.
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty safe.
Is gambling legal in Florida? I don't even know.
I don't know if they might either have just like video poker casinos or like shitty casinos with like one table game of each variety. So it's nothing crazy.
I feel like that would still be just as dangerous. Like one table. I mean, how many tables do you need to play then?
You don't. Well, of course, some tables are more lucky than others. So
you need to move table. Yeah.
Is
that what you were doing?
Yeah, exactly. It was good. So now you know.
I did wonder why I could never see you. Like me and John were just on one table the whole night, and you were just like
bouncing around.
Too much fun.
All right, guys. I will catch you in 2 weeks.
All right.
Yeah, see you, man.
Take it easy.
Adios.
See you guys later.
Good night.